Donald Trump took his campaign against the, quote, dishonest media in a different direction this week.
The media isn't just against me. They're against all of you. That's really what they're against. They're not against me. They're against what we represent. Like Hillary Clinton, they look down on the hardworking people of the country. That's what's happened. The media is entitled, condescending, and even contemptuous of the people who don't share their elitist views. And this is all for money.
Joining us now from New York is Joe Concha, media reporter for The Hill. So, Joe, does Donald Trump have a point in saying that the media are also unfair to the millions who support him, and to use his word, contemptuous?
Absolutely, Howie. We saw that cover story in the Week magazine where Trump supporters are put up on the cover story brandishing AR-15s and pitchforks, and if he loses, they're going to burn down the house, burn down the country, and that's certainly an unfair portrayal. But I look at a poll this week, Howie, AP, that shows that 87% of Trump supporters feel that the media is biased against him. But here's the compelling part of the poll that's kind of buried a little bit. By a 4-to-1 margin, 4-to-1, Clinton supporters, quote, feel there's more bias against Trump than bias in his favor. So given that both sides see that Trump is getting a raw deal in the press, I think it's almost delusional, or at least dishonest, to say that Trump is engaging in conspiracy theories, saying that the press is against him. Raw data and opinion polls contradict that argument.
Yeah, I think the biggest failing of the press in this cycle in a long time has been to be out of touch with the millions of working-class Americans who are angry and frustrated at the political system, and who Trump has tapped into. Now, this is becoming a major issue, which is anger that Trump supporters are showing toward the journalists when they're roped off areas at the rallies. Washington Post, the press always got booed at Trump rallies, but now the aggression is menacing. Politico, Trump crowds rain hate on the press. CNN's Jim Acosta showed a swastika in the word media. Is it fair to blame Trump for that?
No, I don't believe it is. And remember that one report with Acosta, and I think Jim Acosta is a fine journalist, and I'm not doubting his credibility here, but I have to wonder, when he finds a banner with the swastika on it, how did that get there in the first place? And the reason why I asked the question, Howie, is because given what we saw with the Project Veritas James O'Keefe tapes, where it's revealed that Trump supporters were instigated into confrontation, into violence. How do we know that wasn't planted there near a reporter so he could find it and then report it back to the public? I just wonder, when we see reports like that, where those types of banners are coming from, where that vitriol is coming from,
right.
If these are plants or these are actual supporters.
Well, in the 40 seconds or so that we have left, you know, the press always finds that Trump supporters who say, you know, there'll be a revolution if he loses, I'm going to get my musket, but that's not necessarily the majority, and also it doesn't mean that Donald Trump doesn't have the right to call out the press as he sees fit.
Absolutely. I mean, Howie, look, it used to be hot air with Trump as far as the press is against me. Every Republican says that. But the WikiLeaks foundations that show, the revelations, sure, as far as the document dumps, that show collusion, that show advising of campaigns, quote approval, giving a source actual veto power, sharing stories in advance. This gives the Trump argument that the press is biased against him foundation, and people see that and they say, you know what, he does have a point.
Those instances are embarrassing. Joe Concha, great to see you.